Hey, what's up guys? Brad, Poor Boy's Garage. So you're ready for part 2 of a 20-part series on how to drop in a 340 engine into a 1971 Plymouth RoadRunner? And get her running and driving, of course. Well, I know my back's not, but I bet you guys at home are. Anyway, last we left off, we did a intermediate shaft, we did an intermediate bushing, took off the oil pan, cleaned her, replaced a couple gaskets here and there, and then we painted her to make her Mecum auction ready. Yes. No turning back now. So if you remember, I was telling you when I first started this, on part 1, I want to say, I didn't have an engine mount for the driver's side. So we went over to my buddy Larry's. He had a 74 Challenger, and they had that car had the engine mounts in the trunk. Well, if you put a 74 on a 72, they fit, but you got to stack them up with washers. So really, for something like this, we want to do it right. Larry ended up buying a brand new set of engine mounts, and it came with the brackets. And so far, they look pretty good. They're pretty impressive. I'm gonna put them on, and then we'll stab this engine, and then we'll see how good they really are if I gotta do a bunch of twisting and make sure they line up. And I'll let you know where we got those as well, and who we got them from. So I think they're $160. And so far, I'm pretty impressed. So we'll see. We'll see if we can keep it up. So remember guys, if you got a crack in your foundation, the wheels of your cherry picker will go into that crack and you will not be able to get it out. That is always a bonus. I almost feel like I've done this before. Wait. I think I have, like 3 times. Is it just me, or does this car seem like the Joker? All right, so what we're gonna do now is just drop this all the way in and put the bolts in. And then from there, I feel like I hope I didn't forget anything. You know, something that you need to do before you put the motor in. But I think I'm good. Anything if I forgot, I could always get to it. I don't feel uncomfortable there. But I am trying not to get in a hurry. But, so we'll continue. Hey, what's up guys? So we got the 340 dropped in. Did that earlier today. And I'm just basically trying to do everything I can as parts are coming in. So if I could do heater hoses, I'm doing heater hoses. If I could do wires and new spark plugs, I'm trying to do that as well. So right now what we got is heater hoses on. We got the new plugs in, gapped at 35 of course. And we got some new wires. We got those Edelbrock wires, which if you guys seen my other videos, you know I love these because you can make them your own length. And you can make them so they always come out looking really nice, you know, especially on on a new painted motor like this. So they're time consuming. That's the only thing I don't like about doing the wires, the custom made wires, but when you're done, they look so much better than just the ones that are already pre-made that you get out of the store. So anyway, that's what we're doing. That's as far as we got. Probably, I don't know. What I'm thinking about is maybe throwing the carb on it. I'll go ahead and cut the wires, of course. Then I need to get it over into the other bay so I could get it up on the lift, start putting the tranny in it. Then I could go ahead and put my headers on, things along that line. It all domino effects. As soon as I can't do one thing unless the domino in front of it is accomplished and falls over, then it'll let me do the next thing. So it's really it's almost like a pattern of trying to get this stuff done. But I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Trying not to sit on this car for a long time. I know that's a big pet peeve when I do work for friends or just work for customers, is I try not to sit on their stuff forever. I know I hate when people do that to me, so I try to be good about giving them, adequate time and getting their stuff done. And that's what I'm all about, mission accomplishment. So that's the update, and we'll keep on continuing on. All right, guys, so we got the car spun around. Jade and I got it on the lift side of our shop. And now we're going to talk about putting this tranny in. One thing that you have to remember, and I didn't know this either until my good old school Mopar guy, our friend of mine, told me about this. Here, or these flex plates, whatever you want to call them, they're offset. So meaning everything looks like normal. But if you look at the holes, you have one hole on this, which Jaden and I were looking, and it's this hole. You can see that it's over just a little bit more. So you put this up onto the engine, you jack your tranny in there, and then you start getting your flywheel bolts to match up. And you're like, oh, I'm good. I'll spin it to the next one, put a bolt in, spin it to the next one. Well, then you get to the last bolt and you start seeing that they're offset, like something ain't matching up. So you take them off, you spin it around again, and then it just turns into a nightmare. So what I usually do is I'll take them off the engine, I'll go over to the torque converter of the transmission, and I'll spin it around until each hole is matched up, okay? Then from there, I double check myself and I'll mark it. So you got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever you want to do. So when you get the transmission up in the air, and you guys got the little slot at the bottom where you can see, you could go, okay, number 1 goes to number 1. You spin it around, you make sure you're on number 4 is number 4, or however you want to mark it, A, B, C, D, whatever works out for you. So really, if you just mark number 1 and spin it around, mark number 2 or A or B, then you know that the last 2 are going to line up. So just a tip of the day. I never knew that until I started doing the Super B. And then my buddy told me, and so now I'm telling you. Otherwise, you'll sit up there and start scratching your head and pulling your hair out, trying to figure out why the holes are lining up. All right, here we go. Damn. But anyway, when you got a bad back from just being old, I guess, you got to come up with all these weird ways of lifting things, because Jaden and I couldn't lift this tranny that high and get it on this tranny jack. So I was like, well, I'll just come up with this idea. And you guys seen me take off hoods before with the lift. You have to come up with all these crazy ideas just to make stuff happen, I swear. But anyway, these lifts, man, you could buy these things. I think I bought mine for like $1,700, I think, is what I think mine's 11,000 pounds. So it's paid itself back in dividends, and you guys know that. It's just always nice to have a lift, but I saved up for it. And I was able to finally get one. For years, I used to tell myself, I'm going to be that guy that has a lift at their house. And now they're just so cheap, you could buy them. Now this cart here, let me try not to hit my head on the tire again. These carts are awesome too. These are China freights. And let's see, right here. I think they cost probably about 15 bucks, maybe, don't quote me on that, 10 bucks. And I put motors on them and everything else. But here's the deal with them. They do hold weight, don't get me wrong. Engine weight, they get a little rough because the engine is just so dang heavy. Transmission's no problem. But I put 2x4s on mine and screw them down right to the rack, and they seem to do awesome. I've had probably 5 different engines on this, and just you can wheel them around your shop. So if you do buy them, they are worth it, but just make sure you get some 2x4s and screw them on the top, and they'll last a lot longer. I have tried using these without the 2x4s, and they will collapse on you, and then you'll be screwed because you can't move the carts. So here's what I was talking about. We're about done. We got the tranny all tightened up, thank God. And I'm just going around, just kind of working my way from the back of the transmission mount up to the front, tightening every bolt, because in case I got sidetracked or something like that. But this is the part I was telling you guys, where I was trying to explain with the flex plate and the torque converter. I marked 3, and the torque converter shows up 3. And now I can get the bolt in, and I'll tighten this for you here. And then you know they're all gonna sit perfect with that one offset hole. And that's why I put the flex plate up to the torque converter before we did all this. Otherwise, can you imagine if you didn't know where that offset hole was? You guys sit here and keep on twisting it, making sure it matches up. And it just turns into a fiasco, especially if you sit out here and been working all night, you're starting to get tired and all that stuff. So it could start being a pain in the butt. So we're just gonna tighten this up, give it a nice snug shot. Yeah, we're gonna use this side. All right, that's pretty good. And now I'm just gonna turn the motor again. Let's see, what's the best way? I was doing it like this, without scratching up this nice black anodized pulley here. And then if you watch, you'll get the torque converter to spin around real easy. It's not hard. I even got the plugs in. It spins pretty nice. So there we got number 2. It's already matched up. Just gonna leave that in there. Just gotta give this a little bit of a pry out so those bolts get in. Just pry it out just gently. Don't want to start bending it. Careful of those hanging. I don't even know how that fell out. It was sitting up there really nicely. That's always typical. Especially when you're getting towards the end because you know you're about done. And the car knows it's about done. So it's going to start giving you a hard time. You just got to talk sweet to them though. Say, see what I'm saying? Mr. 71, it's okay. We know you want to start. You haven't been started in 30-something years. You gotta stroke these things. All right, so what we're gonna do is go around one more time, and it should be the last hole. So that was number 2 out of 4. No, that was 3 out of 4, but number 2, I marked it. So number 1 should be coming around, and it looks pretty perfect. So we had it right. All the holes matched up just fine. Just pry this out just a little bit so you can get that last bolt in there. And hopefully she don't give you a hard time. It is the last bolt, so you know it's going to want to give you a hard time. And you just got to talk sweet to it and finesse it. All right, let's see. I hope that's going in. So one of the things I want to talk to you guys about while I'm doing this here is the engine bay. I know I'm getting a lot of comments about the engine bay being black. Just remember, when this car first was pulled, the engine bay was already painted black. I didn't do that. I just kind of touched up, made it look a little pretty. But this whole fiasco of putting this 340 in and doing the trans and seeing if it runs okay without some ring caught up in it or it starts smoking or whatever it might do. We're crossing our fingers that it doesn't. But my buddy Larry and his son, I'm just giving them a good foundation so we can at least get it started, maybe pull it around the yard a little bit, but it's just a good starting foundation for them guys to take over, and they're gonna blow this whole car back apart and do it right, like get all the rust fixed, you know, replace a few things, have the car probably repainted green go, and then of course they're gonna do the inside of the engine bay green, just like the Mopar should be. So Mopar guys, in which I'm a Mopar guy too, don't get upset that I did paint it in black. Just want to throw that out there so I don't upset any of you guys. But anyway, so we're good there. Everything matched up perfectly because we marked it. Do not forget to mark that. And we're going to continue. I think tomorrow we'll do starter. I got a couple bolts I may have to take off the 79 truck, our like parts truck. I definitely want to get these headers in there and see if they're going to work. because that's another one I'm crossing my fingers, because it starts getting a little tight with the steering box and all that stuff. But we'll tidy up a few things in the back, drop her back down, and then I'll start finishing up some of the wiring on the top side. I might be able to throw the carb on it. So if everything works out good, we're looking at maybe 2-3 more days for startup. So, all right, what's up, guys? So we're still at war here with this 71. I just wanted to give you an update of all the stuff we've done. Did that rhyme? That was awesome. Anyway, we did the plugs, the wires, distributor. I started putting the pulley on the alternator, and I'm still waiting on some pulleys to come in that my buddy ordered. So we almost pushed, I did a header on the passenger side. And I was about to do the starter, the little mini starter, and of course it was the wrong one. It didn't have the 2 posts on the top. It had 1 post and then like a plug. So I think it was like a later model Dodge. So I told my buddy to reorder that one. So we had to stop on this side. So from there, I kind of just went back to wiring it up. I put the coil on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry I'm going quick here, but I know we want to just keep on going and get this thing fired up soon. So believe me, I do too. This is my carb. I just had it in my stash. It's too much for it, in my opinion. 750. I think this thing would probably just do fine with just a little 650. But got the 750 Edelbrock just to get it fired up. Got all the oil today. Got the tran fluid. I got the wrong filter. I ended up I wanted a real nice filter. I didn't want no cheapo, because in a break-in, with all the particles, I wanted to catch everything for the first 500 miles. So I got like the $14, $15 K&N, and it's too big. So with the headers up in there, and trying to screw that K&N on it, it's just too long. So I'm gonna have to go back up to the parts store and get a same filter, just what was originally on it was like a shorter one. So I'll just have to do the best I can with that. You start doing headers, man, you gotta things start not jiving as much as they were when you just had the original exhaust manifolds. But you guys all know that. That's what it's called, hot rodding. So now I want to wake this car up just a little bit on the electrical side. We'll see. I'm going to put the battery to it. I ended up putting the tray in. Put the tray in just to repop my buddy ordered, because this car didn't have a tray. The parts car truck that we're using out in the back doesn't have the right kind of tray style in it. It has like a truck style. So let's drop a battery in. Let's put the wires on it. Positive, negative. Let's turn the key. I want to start figuring out which one is my start wire, which one is the key switch wire, because this is an original points car. So I'm trying to run the electronic ignition that was a points car. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it'll be fine though. And let's just see the lights come on. Let's just start waking her up slowly from her being parked out in the grass or wherever she was from. For the last 20 years or 30 years, whatever it was. I found a bunch of grass in the wheels, so I'm thinking she was sitting for a minute. So I'm just going to put the positive on, and I'm just kind of going to watch and make sure I ain't got a wire just touching the fender like this. That's just that's a hot wire, I think, to the coil. Just kind of taking a step back. Just kind of looking for smoke, looking for anything gonna start stinking. And then I'm gonna stick my head into the interior over there and just stick my head underneath and smell around under the dash and just make sure nothing's out of the ordinary. I'm gonna go ahead and stick my head in here and hope for the best. I don't see nothing smoking. Nothing smells weird. That's always a good sign right there. It's my favorite part of doing cars, is waking them up. Oh, I wanted to check the me porn too, but I doubt that thing works because I got some GT steering wheel on here. So you know it's not even hooked up, I'm sure. Unless they had like a horn button or something, but yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. So that's it right now until I start checking some powers and see if I can't get some power to the coil here off the key. And then when the key flips back, it'll turn off the constant power and it'll just start on run. So let me do that and we'll continue, guys. That's the update. It's gonna start one of these days. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, subscribers, followers, and random people who just watch videos of guys like us yanking out some of these old cars out of the woods, getting them running and driving them for off-roading, and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with some of these old cars. Anyway, I appreciate you. Just want to give you an update on the 71 Plymouth RoadRunner that we've been doing. I want to apologize right off the bat. I was going to do a 10-part video series on that car, but I was BSing. There's no way I was going to do a 10-part on that. But what I tried to do, and I came real dang close, is get it running for you in a 2-part video series. Did not happen. Epic fail. I'm about 85% done with that 340. We're almost ready to do a turnkey on it. And then watch everything leak. And hopefully I don't shoot a rod through the top end or have a plume of smoke going out the back of the shop. I think it'll be okay. And we're going to cross our fingers and say a prayer. And we're going to hope for the best. But I think we'll be fine. So, updating you on as far as we got, and believe me, I've been going to war with that car day and night, sun up to sundown, and I'm out in this shop trying to get that thing ready to go for you guys, to challenge myself, and to give a good foundation to my friend Larry and his son who want to do that car from the ground up restoration or whatever in the next coming years, a couple years or whatever. But until then, we just want to get it fired up and do some burnouts. But we'll see how that one works. But anyway, let's shift gears here. Let's take it from 5th down to 3rd. And let's give some shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy Stuart Baker, who sent me the 50 rag bag to check oil and stick in my back pocket, because that always seems to look cool. And you know you're a car guy when you got a rag sticking out of your back pocket. So much appreciated there. I also like to thank him for sending me the zip ties. I go through these things like candy, and I know you car guys do too, and you can never have enough of these things. Believe me this. So anyway, appreciate that. I also like to say thank you to my buddy Brian, who works up at Advanced Auto here in James City, which is New Bern, North Carolina, for helping me out with all the crazy ideas I come up in there with and some of these old cars that I have to deal with all the time. And literally, guys, when I walk into Advanced Auto, sometimes I feel like the staff hides under their desk because they know they're going to get challenged to the max with some of the things that I grab around here. So he bends over backwards, and it's much appreciated. Thank you. So, behind me, 1968 Dodge, I was going to say Dart, Dodge Charger RT, Hemi. No, I'm just kidding. Dodge Charger, who knows, it might be a RT, who knows. Quarter panel. And here's where you guys come in. What I want to do, oh wait, you know, the Dodge Charger that everybody's giving away their newborn children just to have one rotting away in their backyard, no matter what condition? Yeah, that one right here on the wall. Anyway, here's where you come in. I want to start doing a sticker collection on this ratty brown colored paint job here. I started out with my sticker to get the party started. All you guys have to do is send me your garage stickers and I will completely put them on and make a sticker collage of this quarter just for you. P.O. box is in the description down below. So anyway, I just wanted to start doing that. I wanted to give you guys a shout out because you guys support me and Jaden and Poor Boys Garage so much. So I wanted to do something for you. So all you got to do is just send me yours and I'll throw it up there. I won't put it upside down, I promise. And I'll start giving shout outs every so often on a couple of the videos. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's the update on the 340. So here we go. We'll keep on continuing. I'm going to keep on going to war for you. And only thing I got to say is let them rip, not rot. Keep on saving them and don't send them to the crusher. Later, guys.
Been